The Inter-Religious Council of Uganda, in a meeting with opposition leaders today, presented a letter preaching a message of peace and justice to Ugandans as the country heads to the polls in 7 days. What began as a spiritual mission quickly turned into a sobering reality check.
That any process in which our nation engages must be grounded in justice and fairness. Without this, we risk sowing seeds of resentment, violence, and disorder. Guided by this conviction, we have undertaken various initiatives to contribute to a peaceful, credible, and transparent electoral environment, which include the following. 1. Persistently calling for responsible conduct and unwavering respect for the Constitution by all stakeholders, and using our centers of worship as spaces for civic awareness, voter education, and moral guidance.
Having already engaged the President, the Electoral Commission, and the Inspector General of Police, the agenda centered on a pastoral letter preaching peace. But for those across the table, peace without justice is a hollow cry.
After elections, so it is very clear.
All opposition parties were represented at the meeting, including National Unity Platform, Alliance for National Transformation, Forum for Democratic Change, Common Man's Party, and Uganda People's Congress.
How are we going to bring these people to have one mind as Ugandans? Because we are Ugandans first before we belong to any other party. And I want to encourage us who are here opposition. Let's not blame each other. Whatever we are doing is to try and survive in this kind of environment. Because this is where an opposition cannot talk, whether it is time for elections or it is not. Personally, we try to organize meetings, and you know ANT is one of the most peaceful parties in this country. But you cannot organize a meeting as long as your political party in this country, whether it is before elections, you are dispersed. The laws that are being applied are non-existent.
The National Unity Platform painted a dark picture of the pre-election climate. They decried the militarization of the process, citing a wave of abductions and a terrifying ultimatum allegedly issued to their supporters.
There are threats on us every day. We either buy you off or we bump you off. That is the language. Everybody has a price. To you, our appeal is, it's a choice where I need to belong. It's a choice if it's a National Unity Platform Party or UPC. It is a choice. It's a civic space. But the militarization is now like we're in a fully blown war zone. We are very concerned. Our security. We are so concerned. In fact, when I was coming, now we leave our home saying, please, my daughter, I'm not sure if I'm coming back, but in case that is how we leave home. Is that how people should live in Uganda?
The Uganda People's Congress joined the chorus, standing in solidarity with the media. They argued that journalists are being targeted simply for being the eyes and ears of a nervous nation.
Just in case you feel the media is going to capture something which is negative, rather not do it, because the media is there to let the world know how we are conducting ourselves. It would be wrong now for you to go and witch hunt the media person for just doing their job. They are just doing their job to capture exactly what they are seeing. So it is better off you, particularly the security officer, to get to understand that time comes when the law may not look at the institution, but that the law in Uganda may now zero down to that individual. And we don't want a scenario where security officers, they name their children. Recently, some police officers, they now say, we know your children, you know your wife, you know where you're going from. My wife and my children cannot be parted to what I do there.
Another issue raised was that voters have not been adequately educated on how to use biometric devices during the elections.
The Electoral Commission has not done any kind of civic education, whatever education, all on a very important machine which is called the biometric machine. We were taken through as Parliament MPs But what I observed, it took us between 7 and 15 minutes for a person to reach where to cast the vote from. And these are MPs which took 7 minutes. What about the old person in the village? Even what about the younger man who has never seen the biometric machine?
The Inter-Religious Council of Uganda says it will continue its mediation efforts with plans to engage stakeholders on security during the election period as they dedicated the nation to God in prayer. Beata Moema, NTV.
I'm not sure the cameras are seeing you.
You are not.